Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the Council. We appreciate that you're faced with a legacy decision, and we want to assure you that you're in good company, because every one of our 35 client sponsors in the last 25 years has faced the same decision. Our facilities currently serve 12 million U.S. citizens in dozens of communities that have embraced a long-term integrated program to reduce, reuse, recycle, and then recover energy from the residuals that are left before, rather than to continue to rely on landfilling. Their efforts have prevented more than 250 million tons of waste from being landfilled, generating 8 gigawatts of power and 10 billion pounds of steam per year, and avoiding 250 million tons of greenhouse gases that would have resulted if that trash had been landfilled. US EPA has deemed EFW a net reducer of greenhouse gases relative to landfilling and one of the cleanest sources of alternate energy. We actively recycle. Covanta facilities have recovered 5 million tons of metals that aren't typically captured in curbside recycling and would otherwise have been landfilled. That's enough steel for 60 Golden Gate bridges. We also assist our communities with establishing and supporting more waste diversion and recycling programs, such as Mercury Bounty programs, electronic waste diversion, household hazardous waste diversions, even household paint recycling. Some of our client communities already enjoy recycling rates as high as 65%, and they're striving for even higher to avoid landfilling excess waste as they encounter growth. In Europe, communities are also achieving higher recycling rates in concert with existing EFW facilities and new EFW facilities being built. The residuals that cannot be recycled or reused cannot be landfilled without further processing in order to eliminate organics and associated greenhouse gases. EFW is an EU-approved choice for EU communities for each member country to select to avoid greenhouse gases. Further, a fourth assessment by the EU Environmental Agency finds that modern EFW does not inhibit or restrict recycling. EFW residuals reduce trash landfill space and therefore acreage requirements by 90%. EFW residue is deemed non-hazardous in the U.S. if it passes rigorous tests, which it routinely does, and is commonly used for daily cover of trash landfills. And as we've heard, there are likely beneficial products to be made from ash in the future to reduce land requirements further. EFW is a highly monitored and regulated industry. We are required to do a continuous emission monitoring and independently conducted emission tests on demand if deemed appropriate. In addition, dozens of computer-controlled operating parameters are highly predictive of ongoing environmental performance. We know instantly if there is a deviation and what corrective actions should be taken. Immense public databases have been gathered over the past 25 years regarding trace emissions, and that's just for our facilities. We strive for zero emission exceedances, and while our facilities have a 99.9% compliance rate, our goal will always be 100%. And in the last 10 years, hours associated with exceedances have been cut in half. Also, our facilities typically operate 60 to 80% below regulatory limits, which in the U.S. are set substantially below established minimum health levels. Just to clarify, the facilities that you've heard today in Newark and Pittsfield and Chester, Pennsylvania, are facilities that do not feature the combustion or the emissions controls technologies proposed for Durham region. As Covanta continues to raise the bar on its environmental performance, so must it maintain a strong emphasis on employee safety and health. 29 of our 35 facilities belong to the Federal Occupational Safety and Health Administration's Volunteer Protection Program. The VPP participants develop and implement systems to effectively identify, evaluate, prevent, and control occupational hazards to prevent employee injuries and illnesses on location. And as a result, according to OSHA, the average Covanta VPP worksite has lost workday incident rate at least 50% below the industry average. Achieving this depends on active participation by our employees in developing safety audits, identifying potential problems, and implementing corrective programs. This cooperation has been developed in a productive and cooperative working relationship with all of our employees, unionized or not. Our employee retention rate of 96% is one indicator of this. We abide by local and federal labor laws. We have to. Unionization is an employee choice. It's not our choice, and we honor what they choose. To do so otherwise would violate the law. Our record stands in stark contrast to the assertions and, frankly, the outright rank name-calling that you've heard today. In the past 25 years, we've successfully negotiated 50 collective bargaining agreements with our unionized employees. There has never been a judgment or a finding of unfair labor practices in that time. A Google search of our labor relations prior to the spring of 2008 would have turned up very, very little. In the spring of 2008, Local 369 of the Utility Workers Union of America organized one of our facilities in Massachusetts. It is the first time we have ever worked with this union. UWUA quickly adopted a very combative stance and launched a worldwide campaign attacking our reputation in an attempt to interfere with our existing and potentially new businesses, and that's to leverage its negotiations in Massachusetts. Stunningly, this effort was undertaken with the knowledge it might jeopardize potential union construction and operating jobs for other workers. The dozens of claims filed by 369 have been regarding interpretation of language in our employee handbook that we dispute, whether it was illegally intended or not. We have a reasonable disagreement there, but rather than fight over it, we took the initiative to revise that language, and we did so some time back to eliminate any ambiguity about its legality. The National Labor Relations Board will not hear 369's claims on this matter until later this year, but as of today, there have been no findings and no adjudications against Covanta on any of these claims. Despite this difficult beginning with Local 369, we have continued to negotiate in good faith, including an expressed willingness at the end of last year to negotiate an employee bonus, a feature that we deem necessary in all of our agreements to properly incentive our employees to perform at their best. Despite 369's silence on that proposal and our willingness to negotiate it, we have proposed and given them a proposal. We've not heard back from them at this point. Finally, as a policy matter, there are economic development aspects that our other clients have realized, and with focus we think you will see it as well. In investing and building and operating Durham solutions, recycling investments in the community instead of exporting investments to other jurisdictions for landfilling. In our ongoing role as a corporate citizen, Covanta is committed to partner with community groups to help support those activities. We've already reached out to the Ontario Institute of Technology and Durham College to partner to develop programs that would benefit institutions, establish mentoring programs and stewardship programs with their students, and we're excited about those interface prospects. In conclusion, we are proud of our reputation as a good neighbor, as a world-class operator, a supporter of recycling, and a responsible employer. We also recognize there is always the expectation, the responsibility for improvement. You can never rest on your laurels when you're a services company. We encourage you to talk about all of these matters with our clients, your peers, especially those who have renewed their original 20-year operating agreements with us, and their perspectives looking back on the last 20 years of our relationship with them. Thank you very much.